Hi everybody, new setup, new backdrop, and a new video. Ever since I was a kid, I've always been fascinated with movies. I've always been fascinated with YouTube videos. I watched a lot of YouTube videos growing up. I've always wanted to create a YouTube channel, and as soon as I got the opportunity to buy a camera, I did. I started with the ATD. I remember me and Corvin, if you guys follow me on the podcast, you might know him. He's my cousin, one of my closest friends. He's practically one of my best friends too. We used to stay up late at night, watch videos. A couple of times we actually made skits, comedic skits, things that we thought back then were funny. We were cringy, to be honest. That's a lot of smoke. That's a lot of smoke. Excuse my random vaping sessions. Now, fast forward, when I bought my camera, I started making vlogs. I think that's the early stages of my YouTube channel journey. So in the beginning of when I started shooting videos for YouTube, I started actually shooting with my iPhone. That was before I bought the Canon ATD. As far as I can remember, I believe the first video was me going with some friends to Kuwait. It was a 4-hour trip. Me and a couple of guys and a girl. We went to Kuwait to have iftar. We were basically fasting at that time, and we went to Kuwait just to have our iftar. Is that considered dinner or lunch? I don't know. Breakfast. So anyways, we drove all the way to Kuwait, and then the whole time I was shooting with the iPhone. When I was back, I'm like, hey, I probably can make it into a vlog. Since I've always wanted to shoot a vlog, I had the footage. I'm like, hey, you know what? Let's do something with the footage I had, and I stitched them up together using Movie Maker on the iPhone. Yeah, I think that was the beginning of when I started getting into vlogging and getting into making videos. Now, fast forward a year later, I decided, wait, why not upgrade and start a video series of some sort? You know, I created a bunch of ongoing series that are still ongoing. I don't know if I'll ever continue or not, but yeah, with those, I went with my cousin Corvin. We made a food tasting tour basically when we had Bahrain Food Festival at that time. I think it was around September 2018 or 19. And we also made a video about fake news. It's a skit that we wanted to continue. We made, I think, 2 to 3 episodes. But being exposed to that, it challenged me and pushed me to create more series. After that, I stopped for a while. I stopped making videos, and then I went in hard by creating Food Fields. Food Fields is a food channel based around Bahrain's food scene, where we order from these restaurants and we review the food and quality of service. But I think that was the beginning of the corona pandemic. So we had to order everything to the studio. Me and my co-host at that time, Amir, we ordered the food and reviewed them in the studio. Starting Food Fields channel was a huge challenge, but with that taught me how to stick with the theme, taught me how to organize an episode and how to organize a YouTube channel correctly and make everything coherent with the episode and the theme and the whole series. I mean, we will be creating a lot more episodes, but we've stopped for a while. We are just reflecting on those episodes, and we now came up with a concept how to keep it consistent and make new attractive episodes basically. But yeah, Food Fields is not over, so if you follow Food Fields, stay tuned for more episodes. And then after Food Fields, I decided to create my own podcast. I think the first year of the podcast was very slow, but again, like every other project that I started at that time, the first period was always for me to learn, for me to dabble with things and try and test things out. And I guess the podcast was very natural to me because I really wanted to have deep conversations with people, or it doesn't even have to be deep, it can be shallow as fuck. Now, a year into podcasting, it's now called the underground experience. But I guess what I'm trying to say is that when you have passion and you believe in something, I do believe that you have to do it regardless of what people say. Now, a lot of people told me just stick to one thing. A lot of people told me you're never gonna stick to one thing. So what? So what if you don't stick to one thing? Start, do, execute. As long as you're consistently learning, I think that's what matters the most, is you keep progressing in whatever field you choose. Now, with everything that I said, I'm gonna be creating more episodes. I'm gonna be creating more series that, I have no idea if I'm gonna continue the podcast or food fields, or maybe stop everything and create something so random about cars, maybe, or gadgets or unboxing or whatever it is. Regardless, I'll always be creating videos. I think that's what I wanted to say. It's so hard for me to talk because I'm the worst kind of communicator. I can't convey the message and the things that I have in here to you guys. It's so hard for me. All I know is I want to stick around YouTube for as long as I can and stick to making videos. I hope I wasn't too confusing, because I feel like I was confusing.